In this video, I'm going to show you how to make an unlined shaped patch pocket. So for my shaped patch pocket, you can see that I've already overlocked this top edge, and this top edge is actually going to end up on the inside of the pocket, and this pocket is unlined, but the top still needs to have a nice neat finish. So I'm just going to fold 4 centimetres to the outside of the pocket, and I'm just going to put a pin in just to keep it in place. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to sew where the pin is 1 centimetre away from the edge. And I'm just going to back tack and sew down to the overlocked edge, and then back tack again. Make sure the pulley's in the upright position, knee lift and bring the work to one side. Snip off with a pair of scissors, and then we're going to just do this edge here. And so remembering to hold on to the thread so that the threads don't tangle under the work, we're just going to back tack to the end, making sure that the pulley is in the upright position, knee lift and bring the work to one side and snip off with a pair of scissors and turn off the machine. Now if you remember on the waistband sample, we needed to just clip the corner to reduce the bulk, and remember we're just going to clip off a little triangle of fabric but not cut through the stitches. And so we're just going to turn that through. And we're ready then to take this to the iron to press it into place. And I just want to make sure that the corners are nicely turned through, and you can use a point turner, or I've got a knitting needle here, but don't push too far. And I'm going to just blast the steam out of the iron and press the top of that pocket. Now I need to do some more pressing. I need to press the seam allowance for the rest of the pocket, and I know that's going to be 1 centimetre. I'm just going to check that with the tape measure, and I just want to place a pin here and there just to make sure that's all in place. And then I'm going to just press that, and then that'll be ready to attach to our garment. One more pin. So I'm just going to press this in place. Okay, so I'm just going to take the pins out as I go and press the pocket. The last one. So having pressed my unlined patch pocket, I just need to top stitch along the top here just to secure this top so it doesn't flap around. Okay, so I'm going to pin 3.5 centimetres from the top just to guide me with my stitching. So once again I'm using black thread as a contrast so that you can see it, but you would probably use a thread that is the right colour for your fabric. So I'm just going to turn on the machine, let it warm up, knee lift to raise the presser foot, put the work underneath. And I'm not actually going to back tack here. The reason being is that I don't really want to see more than one line of stitching across the top. I'm just going to take the pins out as I go, because they're only there just to guide me and to keep the work in place. So I'm not going to back tack, so I'm just going to make sure that the pulley is in the upright position, knee lift, and bring the work away. And I'm going to leave the ends long, turn off the machine. Now we've got these long ends, we don't want to just cut them off, we want to neaten them off at the back of the work. So if you pull up the bobbin thread, that's the one underneath the work, a little loop of thread comes up. And if you take a pin or a needle and just pull that thread, and you can see that it's coming through from the front to the back. And then on the back, we can just tie that off. Just a simple knot, making sure the knot's at the back of the work and not on the front or the side. And we can just snip those threads. So now we're ready to sew our patch pocket onto our garment sample. So we've got a nice neat top stitch finish to our pocket top, makes it nice and strong and secure. Under normal circumstances you'd have perhaps some drill holes or markings to show where to position your patch pocket onto your garment. So once you're happy with the position, then you need to pin the patch pocket in place. So perhaps start by positioning the pins at the top of the pocket, and then we can start working our way down and around. So we're ready to start stitching. Now, before we start stitching our pocket onto our garment, I need to explain something about making sure that the pocket top is going to be really secure. So obviously, because your hand is going to be in and out of the pocket, it's a functional thing, there can be a lot of wear and tear in the top parts of the pocket. So what we're going to do is we're actually, rather than starting the stitching at the top and back tacking, we're actually going to start probably about 2 centimetres down, going to the top and then back down again and around. And we'll do the same to finish. Okay, so I'll just demonstrate that now. So making sure that, again, your machine is correctly threaded, I'm going to turn it on, let it warm up, and we are going to stitch probably about 4 or 5 millimeters away from the edge of your pocket. So because I know I want to start at 2 millimeters from the top of the pocket, I'm just going to mark that, and I'll mark also on the other side. So knee lift and the work going under the machine. I'm just going to just double check the distance. So if we keep an eye on the edge of the foot here against the fold of the work, we should have then a nice uniform distance all the way around our pocket. So I'm going to start 2 centimetres down, and once I've got the work in position I can take the pin out and put it in the pin pot, and I'm going to go back first, so I'm just pressing the bar If you want to be a bit more accurate, you can just use the flywheel on the side and then release the bar and start going forward. And I'm just keeping my eye on this part of the foot against the edge of the pocket the whole time. So I'm going to make sure that the needle is in the fabric because I'm going to turn a corner. So I'm going to raise the knee lift to raise the presser foot, and I'm going to pivot. Now I think I need to do one more stitch just to go forward. So I'm just going to use the flywheel because I don't want to overshoot. So again, make sure the needle's down, and then you can reposition your work. So we can go around the corner. So put the knee lift down again, a few more stitches towards the next corner, and we can use the flywheel just to be really nice and accurate. And we're just going to make sure the needle's down in the work and pivot, but I think I still need to go forward one more. So needle in, pivot, and then we can continue. Okay, so as I'm approaching the corner, I'm just turning the flywheel on the side, making sure that the needle is down in the work, and I just need to go one more. And if you just slightly depress the pedal with your right foot, that'll just help to release the flywheel. But just obviously be careful not to go too far, otherwise you could end up stitching and perhaps hurting yourself. Be careful. Okay. So I'm just going to complete the other side. So I'm going to go to the top of the pocket and then I'm going to go back at 2 centimetres. Okay, make sure the pulley is in the upright position, knee lift and bring the work away from the machine. Slip off the threads. So I've left these threads long, and for me I like to have a really neat finish. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the work over, pull on the bobbin thread as before, and take a needle or a pin and just pull those threads. The thread will disappear from the front to the back, and then let's just knot those, and then I can snip off leaving about 1 centimetre of thread, and I'll do the same on the other side. Pull the bobbin thread, take a needle and pin, pull the loop, and as I do so the thread will disappear from the front and go to the back, and then we can just knot those. snipping off a pair of scissors. So here we have a really neat finish to our unlined shaped patch pocket. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to make a lined round patch pocket.